Okay. Hi, Aurora.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Um, I'm going to read something to you, and we're going to do a quick write about it, which I'll introduce you to later. Um, but first, I wanted to ask you, do you know anything about Rosa Parks?
Yeah, I think
What do you know about her?
I know that, uh, when, uh, when I think, when, like, blacks and whites had different, like, separate drinking fountains and stuff and bathrooms, and she was on a bus, and a white man, she was a black woman, and a white man came in and said he wanted her seat, and black people were required to give white people their seats,
Yeah.
but she said, no, I want this seat, and
She didn't feel like giving it up.
she like started like a huge movement.
Do you know what that's called when they keep black people and white people separate?
Segregation?
Yep, that's one of our key words, so that's good that that came up. So this is historical fiction. So it's as if somebody, well, I'll read more about it. In December 1955, after Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white man, black people in Montgomery, Alabama refused to use the bus until the laws were changed and they were treated fairly. In this passage, a young black girl writes to her cousin about the protest. As you read, take notes on how black people avoided using the bus. You don't have to do that part right now. That's just a recommendation from the person who wrote the article. But this person is 9 years old, so she's just a little younger than you. In December 1955, Shirley, a fictional 9-year-old black girl in Montgomery, Alabama, might have written these letters to her cousin Elizabeth in Detroit, Michigan. So what would be different about where Elizabeth was living in Michigan, do you think?
Maybe they didn't have that movement there.
They didn't have the movement, or they didn't have the same kind of segregation? Maybe they had some segregation, but it wasn't
As severe.
as severe. December 5th, 1955. Dear Elizabeth, guess what's happening in Montgomery? We are having a bus boycott. Do you know what that is? It's when a lot of people refuse to use a service like the city bus as a way of protesting something. Starting today, black people won't ride the buses anymore because of the unfair way the bus company treats us. Remember how it is here? The black people have to sit in the back of the bus, and the white folks get to sit up front. If the bus gets full, the black people have to give up their seats to the whites. It's the law. You're lucky that in Detroit you can sit anywhere you like on the bus. That must be nice. Here's why we're having the boycott. Last week, a black woman here named Rosa Parks was riding the bus. She was on her way home from work. When the bus got full, the driver told her to get up and give a white person her seat. She refused. So the police came and arrested her. They took her to jail. Can you believe it? Mrs. Parks said she was tired of giving in to white people. So now all 50,000 black people in Montgomery aren't going to ride the bus at all until things change. The bus company sure is going to lose a lot of money. Excuse me. Sorry. We're all trying to help each other. Most black folks here don't have cars. The ones that do are driving others to work. Black taxi drivers are charging only a dime, the same as the bus fare, instead of 45 cents for a ride. Thousands of people are walking miles to work, school, and church. The buses are practically empty. The new minister in town, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., is the leader of the boycott. He says that if we keep protest peacefully with courage and dignity, we can make great changes for black people. Until then, I'll keep walking. Do you know what dignity means?
Dignity means like pride or
Yeah. Dictionary defines it as a sense of pride in yourself. So yeah, you can hold your head up. Feel good about yourself. Over a year later, Shirley writes again. December 21st, 1956. Dear Elizabeth, you won't believe what I did today. I rode in the front of the bus. The boycott is finally over after 381 days. I never thought it could last this long because the bus company was losing so much money. But the city officials did everything they could to stop the boycott without changing the seating rules. They arrested black drivers for the slightest reason. They made black taxi drivers charge full fare. They arrested people who were waiting for rides. Hundreds of people lost jobs and went to jail. A lot of white people were really angry, and Reverend King's house was bombed. Our black leaders went to court to end segregation on the buses. There's that word we were talking about. It means the separation of people based on their race. The city fought the case all the way to the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court has said that we can sit wherever we want on the buses. It wasn't easy for people to walk so far in all kinds of weather. My friends and I wore out our shoes walking to school, but we've kept up our spirits. We believe this boycott is the start of equal rights for our people. Tell Aunt Louise you want to come down here and visit me here. We'll ride the bus up front together. Love, Shirley. Okay. So after reading that, I'd like you to do a little assessment called a write about. If you want to put your name on your paper.
Yeah.
And then the topic is
Segregation.
Rosa refuses. Or segregation's another way to... This is historical fiction, so... there's 3 sections here where you can express what you... Well, 2 where you can express. In this box, you can draw a picture or write symbols in this box to summarize the topic. And then using these keywords, dignity, fare, the money a passenger has to pay for a ride, and segregation, if you could use those 3 words in a short paragraph to summarize what you learned or know about the topic. And you can check off the terms as you use them and circle the terms when you're using them in your paragraph. So I'll give you some time to do that, and then you can share it with me. I see you have a little friend there. You're being very
Generous by letting
Yes.
him up.
Let me get him out of your way so that you can focus.
So, my paragraph.
Okay. Would you like to share it with me?
Yes. For a long, long time, black people have been treated poorly, with slavery, segregation, and unfairness. Slowly but surely, black people have fought and fought for their right to dignity. One of those movements was Rosa Parks movement that presented a protest which had black people refuse to go on buses. And without the black people riding and paying their fare, the bus companies suffered greatly.
Nice. You did a really good job of using your words to describe the situation. Like our keywords to describe the situation. That was excellent. And I think if I didn't know anything much about the topic, that would be a really good way to summarize or inform me about what you were reading about. Thank you.